Did we read 47 about aging?
Yeah, I mean, I can reread it again today.
No, it's okay. I think I was gobsmacked by it. Really? Stopping aging? Aging? Sign me up because
Wait,
some
did
of
I
the
read that?
aging.
I thought I
I don't
stopped.
remember that.
All right, let me reread it.
Okay.
Or maybe just read it to start. 47. Wait, maybe I didn't read this one. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I wrote that. All right, 47. Raising the apana upward and bringing the prana down from the throat, the yogi becomes free from old age and appears as if 16 years of age. If you can reverse the downward flow tendency of apana vayu and the upward movement of prana vayu, you can reverse the aging process. When the prana flows down and up, there is loss of vital energy, but if it flows inward, then it is retained, and this vitalizes the whole body. If the body could remain in the same condition as a child's, aging would not occur. It is the secretion of certain hormones or chemicals from the pituitary gland and endocrinal system which causes aging. In this sloka, Swapmaramara is indicating that by use of the three bandhas, the body is influenced in such a way that degeneration no longer occurs. Yeah, so I didn't read that yesterday, but I read. Oh yeah. Okay, so
That is pretty amazing. And there's a part of me, I mean, there's the aging that you see on Hallmark, where people develop these nice gentle wrinkles and so on and so forth. Nobody shows you losing 3 inches, or gaining 30 pounds and you don't know how because not much has changed, or not being able to run anymore, that kind of thing. Nobody shows that. But there's other aspects of aging, which are, so I don't care that I have white hair. I'd like not to have wrinkles, but what the hell? I got wrinkles, it's okay. And the weight thing I've always struggled with, so tell me something new already. The thing that bothers me most about aging is it's the more serious stuff. It's like some of the things that turn up as you age, because your body, it's a machine and it's aging. So for me, it is right now, just a couple of foot issues. And if you want to walk or if you want to do stuff, you got to have your feet. And also GI issues, gastrointestinal issues, which are severely limiting in terms of social interaction. So if I can use some of this stuff to help deal with that, in addition to, working on changing my diet, then, maybe some of the Ayurvedic stuff.
Yeah,
That
it's
would,
hardcore though. It's especially like because we're like I know when I learned about the Ayurveda diet and our doshas and what foods we should be eating, it was like a rude awakening, and I tried to be mindful of it, but I'm not willing to go that extreme right now. Who know? And I know it'll be better for me, but when you don't grow up with it that way, it's so hard to have that major shift. And when you're already in a household where people don't support, not that they don't support, but that don't live with that same theme, it's really hard.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is. And it's not as simple as saying, well, stop eating the Twinkies, because even if, my diet has changed radically from when I was younger, and it's a much healthier diet now. But this is, as you said, Pam, this is a bigger shift. And uh, I think you're right. Willingness is part of it, so what's the trade-off?
Yeah. And like, how early do you have to start this process of apana and prana, vayu, and the locks to really start reversing aging? Like, and we can go back to Sutra 114. Like, you have to do things for a long time, repetitively for a long time.
Yep.
What's the
Yep.
long time for this? Like, it can't just be, oh, I'll start it now. And, um,
Yeah, it's not like one of the flyers you see on telephone poles, lose 30 pounds in 7 days. It's not one of those. That's for sure. Okay, well,
All right, so verse 48 through 50. Surya Beta Pranayama, vitality stimulating breath. Sitting comfortably, the yogi should become fixed in his posture and slowly breathe the air in through the right nostril. Retention should then be held until the breath diffuses to the roots of the hair and tips of the nails. Then slowly exhale through the left nostril. Surya Beta is excellent for purifying the cranium, destroying imbalances of the wind dosha, and eliminating worms. It should be done again and again. Surya is the sun, and it refers to Pingala Nadi. Beta has three meanings: secret, discrimination, and to pierce. In this pranayama, Pingala Nadi is activated by breathing in through the right nostril. Surya Beta pierces Pingala and activates prana Shakti in this nadi. Technique. Sit in a comfortable meditative pose, preferably Siddhasana, Siddhi Yoga Asana. Relax the body and practice Kaya Satyam. Perform Nazigar Mudra, closing the left nostril and leaving the right open. Inhale slowly and deeply through the right nostril. At the end of the inhalation, hold both nostrils closed and lower the head to perform Jaladhara Bandha. Retaining the breath inside, perform Mula Bandha. Hold for as long as possible. Release Mula Bandha, then Jaladhara, and raise the head. Keep the right nostril closed, open the left, and slowly exhale through the left. If necessary, a few normal breaths can be taken between rounds while the hands remain relaxed on the knees. The eyes remain closed and you concentrate on the space in front of the closed eyes. Then commence another round. Breathe in through the right nostril. Hold and breathe out through the left. Practice up to 10 rounds. Surya Beta can also be practiced by inhaling and exhaling through the right nostril only. However, when you breathe only through the right nostril, this might shut off Ida Nadi and functions on the left nostril. By exhaling through the left nostril, you release energy and any impurities that remain in Ida. By inhaling through the right nostril, you draw the prana into Pingala, and by retaining the breath after inhalation, you keep the prana in Pingala. Of course, this pranayama should only be done on an empty stomach and should only be done by the instructions of the guru. If your Pingala Nadi naturally predominates during the day, it is not advisable to practice this pranayama. When Pingala flows, the mind and senses are extroverted. The left brain hemisphere functions, the sympathetic nervous system is active, and the body is heated. Pingala should not be made to function excessively. It should be in harmony with the functioning of Ida. Unlike Nadi Shodhana, which is the alternate nostril breathing, pranayama, which balances the breath and brain hemispheres, Surya Beta predominantly works on half the system. It stimulates the sympathetic nervous system and decreases the parasympathetic nervous functions. Swatmarama says the Surya Veda eliminates imbalance of the wind dosha, but it also balances the other two doshas, mucus and bile. Stimulation of the sympathetic nervous system and Pingala Nadi removes dullness from the body and mind, and the heat produced through the practice burns up impurities in the body. The Garanda Samhita says Surya Beta prevents old age and death, increases the body heat, and awakens Kundalini. If this pranayama is practiced in the reverse manner, inhaling through the left nostril and exhaling through the right, it activates Ida Nadi and is known as Chandra Beta Pranayama. In this text, nothing has been written about this pranayama because if Ida is awakened, the mind can introvert completely and the body will become lethargic. It is quite safe to activate Pingala Nadi through Surya Beta Pranayama, but it can be dangerous to activate Ida through Chandra Beta unless the guru has specifically advised it. And that Chandra, I believe, means moon. So you have your sun and your moon. Does anyone want me to pause there? Okay.
What is the possibility of when this book is giving instruction on different breathing techniques to stop and try them? I mean, is that ill-advised because everybody's at a different place in terms of practicing, or?
Well, we could try this one, just breathing in and out through the right, but it says to do it on an empty stomach, and I'm drinking. But you guys, I guess, can try it. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know if you should try this one because she said practice it under the advice of the guiding of a guru, and also if you're I don't know if you know or if your right side is already activated throughout the day.
Okay,
And
I hear you.
she also advises that. But yeah, and I don't know how extreme, like how many times you do it. But I do know, and I've shared this before, there's a way, like if one side is blocked for you and you're doing alternate nostril breathing, there is a way to unblock it.
Mhm. Okay, never mind. There's too many caveats, really, I think, to do it.
We can try this next one. We know it. Ujjayi pranayama, psychic breath. Verse 51 to 53. Closing the mouth, inhale with control and concentration through Ida and Pingala so that the breath is felt from the throat to the heart and produces a sonorous sound. Do Kumbhaka as before and exhale through Ida. This removes phlegm from the throat and stimulates the digestive fire. This pranayama, called Ujjayi, can be done while moving, standing, sitting, or walking. It removes dropsy and disorders of the nadis and dhatu. Ujjayi means victorious. Ujjayi is the root, which means to conquer or to acquire by quest. In English, Ujjayi is known as the psychic breath because of its effects on the mind. Though it is described here as a specific practice, this pranayama occurs spontaneously when concentration becomes deep and intense. This practice of Ujjayi is so simple that it can be done in any position and anywhere. Ujjayi is often used in combination with mantra repetition, i.e. japa on your guru mantra or soham, ham so. So it is used in meditation practices, Kriya Yoga, and Yoga Nidra because it helps relax the physical body and the mind and develops awareness of the subtle body and psychic sensitivity. Ujjayi promotes internalization of the senses and pratyahara. When used in meditation, Kumbhaka is omitted and Ujjayi is performed through both nostrils with natural inhalation and exhalation. Technique 1. Sit in a comfortable meditative pose or lie in savasana. Become aware of the natural breathing process and feel the air passing through the windpipe. Slightly contract the region at the back of the throat as you do when you swallow. Inhalation and exhalation are done through the nose, but there is a partial contraction of the glottis, which produces a light snoring sound. The sound must come from the throat and not forced to come through the nose. Make the inhalation and exhalation long and deep and controlled. Practice full yogic breathing and concentrate on the sound. Oh, that James person is trying to get in again. I don't know who that is. I'll just leave them there. Technique 2. Practice as in technique 1, but incorporate Kachari Mudra by folding the tongue back so the tip of the tongue presses the back of the soft palate. Sitting in a meditative pose, prepare yourself as for meditation. Practice in the same way as in technique 1, but after inhalation, retain the breath, closing both nostrils with the right hand and lower the head to perform Jalahara Bandha. Release Jalahara, raise the head with Ujjayi, and exhale slowly through the left nostril only. Technique 4. Practice technique 3 with Kachari Mudra. Techniques 1 and 2 can be practiced for any length of time. They are very simple and, unlike any other pranayama, can be done in any position under any circumstance. If breath retention is incorporated, the number of rounds must be restricted. Simple Ujjayi is done with japa or repetition of Soham. As you breathe in and feel the breath move up the spine, mentally repeat so. And as you exhale and feel the breath move down the spine, mentally repeat hum. This form of breathing can also be incorporated with asana practice for specific therapeutic purposes. Example, when practicing Makarasana for sciatica or spinal spondylitis, or asana for mental tension, insomnia, or emotional disturbances. I don't know what those two poses are. We can look them up if we want. It can also be incorporated into asana practice purely to increase the awareness and to stimulate Sushumna. When it is practiced for relaxation and concentration of mind, it should be done after another pranayama technique. When it is practiced for relaxation and concentration of mind, it should be done after another after other pranayama techniques and before concentrating on a psychic symbol. Ujjayi is especially recommended for people who have insomnia, and mental tension. The simple form without retention is a must in the yogic management of heart disease. However, anyone with low blood pressure must first correct their condition before taking up the practice. Is anyone, Nikki and Sue, you guys understand Ujjayi? You practice this, right, while you're in the yoga? Okay. Let me see this one. I'll read this Shikari breath and then we'll stop maybe. By drawing the breath, verse 54, Shikari pranayama, hissing breath. By drawing the breath in through the mouth, make a hissing sound without gaping the mouth, and exhale through the nose. By practicing this, one becomes a second Kamadeva, god of love. In Shikari pranayama, the sound si or seat is made during inhalation. The Sanskrit word kari means that which produces. The practice produces the sound si, and it also it also produces coolness. In English, this practice is usually called the hissing breath. There is a picture. Sit in a comfortable meditative pose and close your eyes. Keep the hands on the knees throughout the practice in either Jnana or Chin Mudra. Practice Kaya Sit Haryam for a minute or so. Press the lower and upper teeth together and separate the lips as much as it is comfortable. Breathe in slowly through the gaps in the teeth. Listen to the sound of the breath as the air is being drawn in. Close the mouth at the end of the inhalation and slowly exhale through the nose. Repeat the same process up to 20 times. I feel like this breathing technique is sort of like how we were reading the physical postures. They're not sticking. Like, I need to see it. Technique 2. Practice in the same way as technique 1, but after inhalation, retain the breath. Perform Jala Bandha, lowering the head, raising the shoulders, and straightening the arms. Perform Mula Bandha. Hold for as long as possible. First, release Mula Bandha, then Jalahara, and exhale slowly through the nose when the head is perfectly straight. Practice up to 20 rounds. Shikari cools the body and should therefore be practiced during warm seasons, not in winter unless particularly specified by your guru. If the weather is extremely hot, it can be practiced for more than 10 minutes. In moderate heat, 10 to 15 rounds is sufficient. It is often done after Bhastrika pranayama, especially if Bhastrika is practiced during summer, to counterbalance the excess heat produced in the body. When you breathe through the mouth, as in this pranayama, it has a cooling effect. Just as an animal pants in the heat to cool the body. Of course, those who have many teeth missing or no teeth at all will find this practice impossible. When air enters the mouth, it cools the tongue and lowers the temperature of the blood, leaving the lungs and thus of the whole body. Heat produced in the lower energy centers, particularly those connected to the reproductive and excretory organs, is reduced. And therefore, people who suffer from chronic constipation are not advised to practice. Shikari establishes harmony in the endocrine system and regulates the hormonal secretions of the reproductive organs. This pranayama also has another important effect. When the breath is taken in through the mouth, the nerves in the nose, which register the moisture, temperature, ions, etc. in the air, are not stimulated, though of course the ions in air are nevertheless absorbed into the body. Yogi Swamarama mentions that the practitioner of Shikari becomes Kamadeva II. In Hindu mythology, Kamadeva is the god of love and passion. He is something like Cupid and the personification of sensual desire and affection. Of course, this does not mean that Shikari pranayama will make you lustful. Rather, it'll make you virile, and attractive. Passion is a form of heat in the body and mind, which in sensual life is expressed and discharged in the natural way. The result is an energy loss. However, through Shikari, the mental and emotional inflammation of passion is reduced. One is able to maintain vital energy and control and have a magnetic and attractive aura. All right, I'm going to pause there. I'm trying to practice this. I don't know. This one's weird to me because it's new. All right. Does anyone have anything to say? Otherwise, we can move right into breath and meditation. I mean, they have like YouTube videos we could find, but I guess we can look it up on our own over the weekend. All right, so let's set up for alternate nostril and we can do bumblebee breath again. And then we'll move into our 20 minutes. So sitting up nice and tall. Maybe just take a few rounds of Ujjayi breath, slightly restricting the breath at the back of the throat. Maybe you want to play with that so hum mantra that the author just mentioned, inhaling so through the nose, watching the breath move down the spine into the low belly. And then exhaling hum as the breath moves up the spine and out through the nose. And taking your right hand over to your nose, closing right nostril with right thumb. Inhale through your left. Close left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Close left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close right. Exhale left. 5 more rounds in your own breath, adding your retention in if it's in your practice. You'll take your time to finish exhaling through your left nostril and then set up for your meditation practice. Setting the timer for 20 minutes. Bringing hands together in front of your heart. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a
All
great
right,
weekend.
guys. Have a great day.
Amanda, I had a question. You too, Nikki.
Thank you. See you later. Bye.
Amanda, are you still there?
Yeah.
What this just came to me in my meditation. What if I renamed the philosophy circle on Facebook to Revolutionary Ideas, and it became our like one spot for a circle, for Rev Talks when they start up again, for
Yeah.
Ripples when they start, and for book club,
That's a great idea.
instead of doing like one for each? This way everyone's getting all the information. They could just take what they need and leave what they don't.
Yeah, it'll be easier to get them on board too, all in one place.
Yeah, and it all is the same idea. It's just named different. It's just presented differently. So I thought that would be, I think I'll work on doing that at some point.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I think that would be great.